The text came during my sister Rachel's annual family photo session. Professional photographer, matching outfits, the works. I told her 3 weeks ago I couldn't make it, board meeting with potential investors couldn't be rescheduled. Of course you can't, Rachel had said, her voice dripping with disappointment. It's always work with you, isn't it? Your little app thing. Now I stood in my parents' living room, surrounded by Rachel's professionally framed photos, her perfect family in coordinated cream and navy, golden hour lighting, everyone's teeth impossibly white. These turned out beautifully, my mother gushed, hanging the largest print above the fireplace. Don't you think so, Jordan? I glanced at the portrait. Rachel, her husband David, their 2 kids, our parents. The family. Complete except for the black sheep. They're nice, I said. Nice? Rachel laughed, adjusting a smaller frame on the mantel. They're perfect. Of course, they would have been even better if everyone had actually shown up. Rachel, my father warned, but his heart wasn't in it. I'm just saying, she continued, family should be a priority. Not everyone can be there, she gestured vaguely at me, but most of us understand that. I had a board meeting, I said quietly. A board meeting? My mother sighed. Sweetheart, this startup hobby has been going on for 3 years now. When are you going to accept that it's not working out? It is working out. We just secured Series B funding. Series B, Series C, all these letters and numbers. My Uncle Tom, visiting for the weekend, chuckled from the couch. Sounds like alphabet soup. Meanwhile, Rachel just made partner at her law firm. Real achievements. Real money. $240,000 a year, Rachel said, trying for modest but landing somewhere near smug. Plus bonuses and profit sharing. Because I chose a stable career path instead of chasing Silicon Valley fantasies. My cousin Michelle, Rachel's clone in every way that mattered, nodded enthusiastically. Exactly. Jordan, you're 31 years old. How long can you keep pretending to run a company? I'm not pretending. I'm the CEO of Meditrack. We have 47 employees, 18 hospitals using our software, and we just closed a $12 million funding round. $12 million in funding, my father repeated skeptically. But how much have you actually made? What's your salary? I didn't answer. They wouldn't understand that I'd been taking a minimal salary, $85,000 a year, to keep the company lean, that my real compensation was equity, that the $12 million wasn't profit but investment in growth. That's what I thought, he said. Meanwhile, your sister has a 6-figure salary, a house in the suburbs, a 401k. Real security. I have equity, I said. Equity. My mother pronounced it like a foreign word. That's just paper, honey. It's not real money. You can't pay bills with equity. Actually, once we exit. Exit? Uncle Tom interrupted. You haven't even entered yet. 3 years, Jordan. 3 years of missing holidays, family dinners, important events, for what? For a company that still hasn't turned a profit. We're in growth phase. That's normal for. What's normal, Rachel cut in, her voice sharp, is showing up for family. What's normal is being present. But you're always too busy with your meetings and your pitch decks and your disrupting industries. She made air quotes around the last part. Meditrack is revolutionizing patient data management. We're saving hospitals an average of $340,000 annually in administrative costs. We're improving patient outcomes, reducing medical errors. That's wonderful, my mother said in that tone that meant it wasn't wonderful at all. But couldn't someone else do that? Does it have to be you missing every important family moment? The board meeting was crucial. We were finalizing. There's always a crucial meeting, my father said. Always some emergency. Meanwhile, life is happening, and you're missing it. I looked around the room. Rachel's perfect photos everywhere. Evidence of her perfect life, her perfect choices, her real career. No photos of me, because I was never there. Always working, always building, always one crucial meeting away from missing another family milestone. You know what I think? Michelle said, leaning forward conspiratorially. I think you're hiding behind work because you're afraid of real life. Real relationships. Real commitment. That's ridiculous. Is it? When's the last time you dated anyone? When's the last time you did anything besides work? I'm building something important. You're building excuses, Rachel said. Look, Jordan, I'm saying this because I love you. It's time to give up this fantasy. Get a real job. Join a real company. Start living a real life before you wake up at 40 and realize you wasted your best years on a dream that never materialized. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Then again. 3 times in rapid succession. I pulled it out reflexively. Of course, Rachel said. Can't even have a family conversation without checking your phone. Put it away, my father ordered. We're talking to you. I glanced at the screen. My co-founder Alex's name. Marcus Chen from our lead investor firm. Jennifer Wu, our CFO. all marked urgent. I need to check this. No. My mother's voice cracked like a whip. For once, Jordan, just for once, can you be present? Can you choose family over work? Mom, this could be important. More important than us? She gestured around the room. More important than the people who supported you your entire life while you chased this pipe dream? My phone buzzed again. A fourth message. A fifth. My pocket was vibrating like a small earthquake. This is exactly the problem, Rachel said, standing up. This right here. We're trying to help you see that you're throwing your life away, and you can't even put down your phone for 5 minutes. You don't understand. What don't we understand? Uncle Tom challenged. That you think you're Steve Jobs? That you think your little medical app is going to change the world? Jordan, hundreds of startups fail every year. The odds of yours succeeding are, Jordan, infinitesimal, my father finished. We're not trying to be cruel. We're trying to be realistic. My phone rang. Actually rang. Marcus Chen's name flashed on the screen. Don't you dare answer that, my mother warned. I stared at the phone. Marcus never called unless it was critical. The messages, the urgency, the multiple people trying to reach me, something had happened. I'm sorry, I said, and answered. Marcus? His voice exploded through the speaker, loud enough that the whole room heard. Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for 20 minutes. The room went silent. Every eye fixed on my phone. I'm with family. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Marcus laughed, slightly hysterical. MedCorp's acquisition offer just closed. The board voted unanimous approval. Jordan, we did it. The sale went through. My heart stopped. The acquisition? $800 million. MedCorp bought Meditrack for $800 million. Your equity stake, Jordan, after taxes and investor payouts, your personal share is $8.5 million. Rachel's framed photo, the one she just hung on the mantel, crashed to the floor. The glass shattered into 1,000 glittering pieces. 8.5 million, my father whispered. And that's conservative. Marcus continued, oblivious to the shock radiating through the room. If you exercise your stock options from the accelerated vesting clause, you're looking at closer to $9.2 million. Jordan, you're a multimillionaire. We all are. My mother sat down hard on the couch. The press release goes out Monday, Marcus said. Forbes is doing a feature on the acquisition. They want to interview you tomorrow. TechCrunch already called. Bloomberg's running it as their lead business story. This is huge, Jordan. This is everything we've been working toward. Forbes, Michelle said faintly. And Jennifer needs you to call her ASAP about the tax structuring, Marcus continued, and Alex wants to discuss the transition timeline. MedCorp wants you to stay on as VP of Product Development. They're offering $340,000 salary plus retention bonuses. Plus you keep your equity in the parent company, which could be worth millions more if MedCorp goes public next year like they're planning. $340,000, Rachel repeated numbly. Oh, and the hospitals. Marcus was on a roll now. All 18 are expanding their contracts with MedCorp. Stanford Medical just signed for hospital-wide implementation, $2.3 million deal. Our software is going to be in 40 hospitals by end of next year. Jordan, we changed healthcare. We actually did it. Uncle Tom had gone completely pale. I need you to call me back in 10 minutes, Marcus said. We have paperwork to sign, lawyers to talk to, and the Forbes journalist wants to schedule. But Jordan, congratulations. You earned every penny of this. 3 years of 18-hour days, missed holidays, sacrificed personal life, it all paid off. You were right to believe in this. He hung up. The silence was absolute. I looked around the room. My mother, frozen with her mouth open. My father, staring at me like he'd never seen me before. Rachel, standing in a pool of shattered glass from her broken picture frame. Michelle, blinking rapidly. Uncle Tom, rubbing his face like he could erase what he'd just heard. $8.5 million, my father finally said. After taxes, I confirmed quietly. Plus stock options that could be worth another several million. Plus the VP position salary. Plus equity in MedCorp if they go public. But you said you weren't making money, my mother stammered. I said I was taking a minimal salary. That's different from the company not being valuable. My equity stake was worth millions, it just wasn't liquid until we exited. Exited, Rachel whispered. You mean, when you said exit before? I meant selling the company, yes. Which is what we've been working toward for 3 years. MedCorp has been in acquisition talks with us for 14 months. The board meeting I missed the photo session for? That was the final approval vote. 14 months, my mother repeated. The board meeting was crucial because if even one board member voted no, the deal could have fallen through. We were finalizing an $800 million acquisition. I couldn't reschedule it for a photo session. Rachel's face cycled through emotions, shock, denial, confusion, something that might have been anger or might have been grief. "You're telling me," she said slowly, "that while we were taking family photos, you were selling your company for $800 million? Yes. And your share is $8.5 million? Approximately, yes. Plus stock options? Plus accelerated vesting on my remaining options, which adds about $700,000. And the VP position with MedCorp, and retained equity in the parent company." My father stood up and sat down again, like his legs had forgotten how to work. "I told you to get a real job." "You said my startup was a fantasy," I agreed. "A pipe dream. Alphabet soup." Uncle Tom made a strangled sound. "The silly startup," I continued, looking at Rachel, "just got acquired by one of the largest healthcare technology companies in the world. The little app thing is now being used in major hospitals to improve patient care and save lives. The hobby made me a multimillionaire." "Jordan, sweetie," my mother's voice had gone syrupy, "we had no idea. If you'd just told us." "I tried. Multiple times. I told you about the series of funding, you said it was monopoly money. I told you about our hospital contracts, you asked when I'd get a real job. I told you about Series B, you said I was wasting my life. But you never mentioned the numbers," my father protested. "You never said millions. Because you never asked. You never listened. You decided my company was failing and treated me accordingly." My phone buzzed. A text from Jennifer Wu: "Lawyers need signatures by Monday. Wire transfer for $8.5 million will clear within 48 hours of closing. Congratulations, boss. You did it." I showed the screen to the room. "That's real money," I said. "Not monopoly money. Not paper equity. Real money, clearing into my real bank account, within 48 hours. Rachel had tears running down her face, smudging her perfect makeup. "I don't understand. How did we not know?" "Because you never asked about my work except to mock it. You never asked about my company except to suggest I abandon it. You measured success by your standards, salary, benefits, suburban houses, and decided I was failing. We were worried about you," my mother said desperately. "No. You were embarrassed by me. I didn't fit the mold. Lawyer, doctor, accountant, those are careers you understand. But tech entrepreneur? That was too risky, too uncertain, too different." "Your little medical app," Uncle Tom said hollowly, staring at nothing. "MediTrack isn't little. It's a comprehensive patient data management system that uses machine learning to predict and prevent medical errors. We've been credited with saving 43 lives in the past year alone through early intervention alerts. That's 43 families who still have their loved ones because of software my team built." Michelle had covered her face with her hands. "The board meeting I missed the photo session for? The final vote was 8-0 in favor of the acquisition. If I'd skipped it to take pictures, the deal might have fallen through. I would have cost my employees, my investors, and myself millions of dollars. For a photo session. We didn't know it was that important," Rachel said, her voice cracking. "Everything about my work was that important. Every meeting, every decision, every 18-hour day. I was building something real. I was changing an industry. But you couldn't see past your definition of success." My phone rang again. "Alex, my co-founder. I need to take this," I said. Nobody protested. "Alex," I answered. Dude. His excitement was palpable. "We're millionaires. Actual millionaires. My share is $6.8 million. Jordan, we did it. 3 years of ramen noodles and sleeping in the office and missing every social event, it was worth it." "Yeah," I said, looking at my family's shocked faces. "It was." "Forbes wants both of us for the interview. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. They redoing a full feature, how 2 Stanford dropouts built an $800 million healthcare AI company in 3 years. This is insane." "Stanford dropouts," my mother whispered. She'd been furious when I'd left Stanford in my second year to focus on MediTrack full-time. "I'll call you back," I told Alex. 20 minutes. I hung up and stood up, gathering my jacket. "Where are you going?" my father asked. "I have calls to make. Lawyers to talk to. A Forbes interview to prepare for. Work to do." "Jordan, wait," Rachel said, stepping toward me and immediately wincing as glass crunched under her shoes. "We need to talk about this. We owe you an apology." "Do you? Or do you just want to apologize now that you know I'm rich?" "That's not fair. Isn't it? 5 minutes ago, my career was a fantasy. My choices were failures. My work was a silly hobby. Now I'm a multimillionaire and suddenly you want to talk." "We made a mistake," my mother said, tears forming. "We should have supported you. We should have believed in you." "Yes. You should have. But you didn't." "So that's it," my father said, anger creeping into his voice. "You're just going to walk away? Throw your family aside because we didn't understand your tech company?" I'm not throwing anyone aside. I'm going to do my work, the work you've spent 3 years telling me to quit. But we didn't know. Rachel's voice went shrill. How were we supposed to know you were building something this successful? You could have asked. You could have listened when I tried to explain. You could have shown even basic interest in what I was doing instead of constant mockery and concern. We were trying to protect you, my mother protested. From what? From success? From achieving something extraordinary? From proving that sometimes the risky path pays off? My phone buzzed. Another text from Marcus, Wall Street Journal wants comment. NYT calling. Bloomberg TV wants you for their tech segment Monday morning. This story is everywhere. I showed it to them one more time. The New York Times. The Wall Street Journal. Bloomberg. They all want to cover the silly startup story. Jordan, please, my grandmother spoke up for the first time. She'd been silent through the whole exchange, watching from the corner. Don't let anger make you do something you'll regret. Family is family. You're right, Grandma. Family is family. But family should support each other. Family should celebrate each other's victories, not just the victories they understand. Family should trust that maybe, just maybe, someone knows what they're doing even if the path looks different. I walked to the door, stepping carefully around the broken glass of Rachel's family portrait. The Forbes article drops Monday, I said. You'll be able to read all about how my pipe dream became reality. How my alphabet soup funded an $800 million acquisition. How my wasted life changed healthcare for millions of patients. Jordan, my mother called, desperation clear in her voice. I turned at the door. Looked at each of them one more time. My successful sister with her 6-figure salary and shattered picture frame. My parents with their conventional wisdom and shocked faces. My uncle with his alphabet soup jokes. My cousin with her accusations of hiding from real life. I'm not hiding from real life, I said quietly. I'm living it. I'm just living it differently than you expected. And I'm sorry that scared you into trying to tear me down instead of building me up. We'll do better, Rachel promised, mascara streaked and desperate. We'll support you now. You'll support me now that I'm rich? That's not support, Rachel. That's opportunism. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? Because 3 hours ago, I was a failure who needed to get a real job. Now I'm successful? The only thing that changed was you learned about the money. I opened the door. Winter air rushed in, cold and sharp. Wait, my father said. The Forbes interview. When does it publish? I'm sure you'll all read it with great interest. Jordan, please, my mother begged. Don't leave like this. Let's talk through this as a family. We are talking. But I have work to do. Lawyers are waiting. Contracts need signatures. Journalists want interviews. The silly startup that nobody believed in needs its CEO. I walked out into the December evening while behind me, my family erupted into panicked whispers, desperate planning, frantic attempts to figure out how they'd missed this, how they'd gotten it so wrong. Monday morning, the Forbes article went live, healthcare disrupted, how Meditrack $800M acquisition signals the future of medical AI. Monday morning. My photo was on the cover. Not Rachel's perfect family portrait. Mine. My phone had 47 missed calls. 38 texts. 17 emails from family members. Rachel, I'm so proud of you. Can we talk? Mom, the Forbes article is beautiful. You look so professional. Lunch this week? Dad, I may have been too hasty in my assessment of your career choices. Coffee? Uncle Tom, impressive work, Jordan. I'd love to hear more about the tech sector. Michelle, can I ask you about startup investing? I have some money saved. I deleted them all without responding. My phone rang. Marcus. Morning, boss. Bloomberg interview in an hour. Forbes follow-up at 3. TechCrunch wants a deeper dive on the AI algorithms. Also, MedCorp CEO wants to discuss the VP transition. You start January 15th. Perfect, I said, looking out my apartment window at the Seattle skyline. On my desk sat the one family photo I owned, from 10 years ago, before the comparisons, before the mockery, when they still believed I could be anything. Maybe someday I'd forgive them. Maybe someday I'd let them back in. But today wasn't that day. Today, I had a company to transition, a Forbes interview to prep, and 2.4 million patients whose medical care had just gotten safer because of what my team built. Today, I had everything I needed. Have you ever pursued a dream that your family didn't understand? How did you handle their skepticism? Share your experience in the comments.